Hello YouTube. I hope everyone is doing well. And today I want to talk about authenticity. But before I do that, I just want to say that someone had commented under my video, one of my other videos, asking about my perspective on authenticity. And I want to give them a shout out, but when I went back, I realized that the comment had been removed. So I can't shout them out by name, but I just wanted to acknowledge that they were part of the creation of this video. Alright, so with that being said, authenticity. And it's been an interesting topic to explore. And I've tried to post this video multiple times and it just didn't feel right. Which maybe kind of adds to a point around authenticity that I want to make, and that's we're very self-conscious, we're very self-critical, and it's this awareness of ourselves that kind of adds a layer to how we present ourselves to the world, which can lead to being inauthentic because we're concerned with what people are going to think or how they perceive things. And we also have ideas, expectations about things that we do and labels that describe who we are or the role we play. And when expectations aren't met, or when our ideas don't align with reality, or just the awareness that we have of ourselves and being self-conscious, that tends to keep us from being our authentic selves because we're worried about what other people are going to think. We're worried about whether or not we are actually what we say we are. And this is probably a human issue. I can't say for sure because I'm not any other animal, but as far as I know, and I think science knows, is that animals don't really think about themselves. They don't. This isn't to say that they're not conscious, but they're just not self-conscious. They're not worried about how their flapping their wings looks, or they're not worried about how their meows sound. They're just themselves each and every moment. And they don't really give a rat's ass whether or not someone doesn't like it. That's our problem, I guess, if we don't like it, right? But humans don't do that. We care about what people think. And we're very influential creatures. We take in information, and whether we realize it or not, we kind of adopt it as our own if we're not careful. And all these things add to the layer, or two layers, that make us feel like we're not ourselves, not authentic. And that I think authenticity is about letting go. It's a lot of stripping away of who you think you are, or the ideas you have about who you are. Stripping away certain information you decide to take on for yourself, certain thoughts that you take on for yourself. Because we live in a time where we have access to just about anyone's thoughts at any time of day due to the internet and YouTube especially. And if we think it's a good idea, we take it on as our own. And I'm not saying that's a bad idea. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but in a way we lose our authenticity because we're just regurgitating what we've been told. We're just regurgitating things we've seen. We don't actually take a lot of time to sit with that, to sit with ourselves. And like I said earlier, that if authenticity is something you want in your life, if you want to connect with your authentic self, then I would suggest that maybe you just sit with yourself more. Turn off your phone, don't watch TV, decide to say no to a night out with friends, whatever you have to do, just kind of get to know yourself a little bit, develop that relationship with yourself, and let go of ideas that you have about being who you are, about being a woman or a man, about being a Christian or a Buddhist, about being a parent. Let go of what it means to be those things and just be. I hope this made sense. And till next time, peace and love. Actually, before I go, there is one thing I want to say, and that's perhaps you already are authentic. And what I mean by that is that you're as authentic as you can be at any given moment based on the stage where you're at in life. Like at 18 versus 25, that authenticity might look different. And it looks different because you're at a different maturity level. You have a different relationship with yourself. Because I don't think who you are at 18 was necessarily inauthentic. It was just the connection with yourself wasn't as deep as it is at 25 and 35 and so on. And that maybe when we say authentic, really what we're meaning is just having that connection with ourselves, knowing ourselves. And something that comes with time, something that comes with a lot of time alone, not always taking in everyone else's perspective, including mine. But I appreciate you being here. And I hope that made sense. Now for real this time. Peace and love. Until next time.